Animal Kingdom Day and a travel day? Join me today on Glimmering Shimmering Travels. Hi, I'm Jackie and you're watching Glimmering Shimmering Travels. Today we are going to Animal Kingdom and then we're flying home. And we'll be returning back here on Monday, believe it or not. If you haven't already, go ahead and click subscribe and hit that bell so you get notifications when my next video drops. If you haven't already, go ahead and follow me on Instagram too. I'm also at Glimmering Shimmering Travels there. So I'm just checking my bags here at Animal Kingdom Lodge to hold until we come back before we leave for the airport. And I'm actually meeting my parents. I sent them on to Animal Kingdom. We have bell services going and getting our luggage from Art of Animation and then transferring it over to here at Animal Kingdom Lodge. So I'm gonna hop on a bus. So I'll see you soon. Well, I made it to Animal Kingdom. I'm just waiting for my parents. We're going to head to Kilimanjaro Safari, and then I will be going, I think we're going to go Navi River journey. I'm not sure we can do much more than that, but it'll be nice to be here before we head to the airport.
Is it anybody's first time safari today? No? Wow, really exciting. So we're going to go ahead and get it started with on the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. We're going to be headed into the Ituri Forest. The Ituri Forest is a heavily dense forest full of animals that can camouflage. Camouflage is the ability to blend in with their surroundings, so they might be a little bit harder to see at times. I want to be the only Okapi here, which I think some of us can relate to. It looks like up on that right-hand side of the vehicle looks like a pile of sticks, and essentially that's what it is, but it's a saddle-built stork nest. Oh. If you keep a close eye out on that left-hand side, there are going to be some black rhinoceros. Ooh. Black rhinos are entire world, so it's kind of cool that we get to see them. They're going to be one of these smaller species of rhinoceros. Now, although I do say smaller, that does not mean they're going to be small. They weigh at least 800 to 3,000 pounds, so pretty impressive. Now it looks like there's more animals coming up, so keep a close eye out on that right-hand side. Looks like on the right-hand side is going to be the greater kudu. Greater kudu have that brown coloration to be able to blend in with their surroundings. Also looks like there's a saddle-billed stork up there on that right-hand side as well. Saddle-billed storks are going to be quite large birds. They're about 5 feet tall with a wingspan of 9 feet long. To put that into perspective, that's about the size of the rusty-colored antelope. Those are going to be bongos. Bongos are nicknamed the ghost of the forest, and that's because they're rarely seen. So it's kind of cool that we got to see them. They also have the shortest leg out here, as the bloat is what you call a group of hippopotamus. A bloat's going to consist of females and their offspring. Males, when they reach maturity, are going to leave their bloat for a more solitary lifestyle. Now, I did call them semi-aquatic earlier. Semi-aquatic meaning that they spend some time in the water and some time on the land. But that doesn't mean that they're going to be great swimmers. These guys are some pretty poor swimmers, as they don't swim through the water. They walk or run through the water. About 1.5 million individuals. Now that's pretty impressive. Now they're also going to be pretty unique, as the sable antelope, the females are actually going to choose where the herd goes, whereas the males are going to lead the herd. So it's kind of interesting that there's a split dynamic there. And of course, you'll see that dazzle of zebra I was talking about earlier. These are specifically Hartman's Mountain Zebra. Hartman's Mountain Zebra get their name from their white bellies, as well as a dewlap. A dewlap is an extra piece of flabby skin at the bottom of their necks that allow them to regulate their temperature. So that's what's going to make them that specific subspecies of zebra. No other subspecies will have those aspects to them. They are also going to have completely unique stripe patterns. So just as you and I do not have the same fingerprint, they are also not going to have the same stripe print. That is how individual they are. Their stripe prints, when baby zebras are born, they will imprint on their mother's stripe pattern as a way to find their mom within the dazzle. So we get quite a good look at them. And it also looks like we'll get another good look at those giraffe on that left-hand side. Now you might notice those jutting rocks up out of the ground over there. Those are going to be termite mounds. Although this one's solitary, so we can kind of deduce that it's a male. Male elephants will mostly live a solitary lifestyle, although they have been found to live in groups called bachelor herds. Bachelor herds just meaning that they are a small group of male elephants. Now, animals don't have talk or text like we do, so they do have to communicate in a different way, and body language is going to be super important for the elephants. It's actually really cute, just as how you and I say hello to each other. Elephants also have their own form of greeting, which is going to be wiggling their ears towards each other. So you might see them wiggling their ears towards each other, and that's going to be their greeting towards each other. They might also stick their trunks up at each other to say hello. Although they do, however, flap their ears back and forth as a way to regulate their temperature. They have blood vessels that run through their ears that help cool themselves down. It looks like we're going to be headed into the watering hole. The watering hole is a great place to find animals. And you get another good look at those elephants on that left-hand side. It looks like an animal that knows a thing or two about water is the greater flamingos on that left-hand side. Greater flamingos are going to live in a group called, hi guys, remember not to yell at the animals. We don't want to yell at the animals. Like I said, these guys live in a group called a flamboyance. A flamboyance is what you call a group of flamingos. Now they are going to be that pink coloration from their diet. So they actually hatch out a grayish white coloration, and then as they eat food such as shrimp, they're going to get more and more pink. So you might have seen some that were a little gray, a little white. Those are going to be some pretty young flamingos, whereas the ones that have that deeper, darker pink coloration, those are going to be much more mature elephants. Now it looks like on that left-hand side coming up is going to be a crash of rhinoceros. A crash of rhinoceros is what you call a group of rhinos. These are specifically white rhinoceros. Now it's actually pretty cool, guys. You guys have now seen 2 of the last 5 species of rhino left in the entire world. The white rhinoceros and the black rhinoceros that we saw back in the Ituri forest. It's quite a humbling experience as these guys were hunted almost to extinction for their horns, unfortunately. Their horns were believed to have medicinal purpose, but they actually have no medicinal or nutritional value. Cheetahs are going to be one of the fastest land species as they can reach speeds from 0 to 60 in only 3 seconds. So pretty impressive. They use their camouflage to blend in with their surroundings, use their long legs to reach speeds from 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, and then use their long tails to help keep balance. So everything that makes a cheetah is what makes them successful during their hunts. Now cheetahs are going to be pretty special as they are one of
they're new here.
African lion roars can be heard about 5 miles away. Now that male there that you see with those giant manes, males are going to have manes, females won't. So that's how you know that the one on the right is the male and the 2 other females up there with him. A pride is going to consist of 1 to 2 males and several female. Female are going to do most, if not all, of the hunting for the entirety of the pride, whereas the males are going to stay behind and patrol their territory. Now I say pride. A pride is what you call a group of lions. Now unfortunately this is going to be a lot of what they do all day. They sleep or rest for about 16 to 18 hours out of the day. Kind of jealous. That's because they do have to conserve all of that energy for those long and exhausting hunts. Which is kind of unfair as these guys are actually super intelligent species.
So I am just chilling here at Satuli Canteen while my parents are over on a Navi River journey. We had some issues with my mom's power chairs, so I held back since I've been on Navi River. I hope they enjoy it. So I held back, got everything rearranged. So she's getting a new chair on Tuesday morning, so it'll be fun. After this, we are headed back to Jumbo House to check her current chair into Bell Services, get my bags, and then we'll be off the airport back to Indiana for a couple days. And then we'll be coming back late Monday night. It's been a crazy trip. For sure, for sure. So I am headed back to Disney. We have a 5:59 flight over from our local airport through Atlanta. It's been a weekend so far and I'm ready to get back to vacation. So see you soon. And we are back at Walt Disney World, and I just woke up at Animal Kingdom Lodge and got ready. We got in about 1 last night. And as you can see, I am at Animal Kingdom Lodge, and I just woke up to 2 giraffes right outside the window. So we have the keys to the Kingdom Tour today at Magic Kingdom at 9:30. We're gonna catch a minivan over to the Magic Kingdom. I am super excited to take this. I've been on a tour before through Disney, so I'm hoping it lives up to its hype. Can't take you on the tour, but I will bring you as much information as I can. Zip around. And you can see the lovely giraffe, a big bird that just flew over. It is quite foggy today. And there's, I think, a zebra and some other, let me see if I can zoom in more. Zebra, and there's a zebra sitting down, and I think some other type of, I don't know, deer? I can't see. We got an animal keeper coming by over there, and I can hear an owl too out here. Yeah, so cool to wake up to giraffes in the morning. I will try to take more video if I can, once the fog clears a little, if I have time. Well, we made it to Magic Kingdom. We actually ended up taking the bus because minivan was taking forever. So we're like, cancel the ride. We just want to get there. So we have about 20-25 minutes until we have to check in for our tour at 9:15 over at Town Square. Is kind of where you meet Mickey and Tony's Town Square is. Just waiting on my mom to get through bag check with her scooter, and then we'll be off. Good morning. Group consensus, it was getting warm, so we decided to come back to the room after the Keys to the Kingdom tour before our Steakhouse 71 reservation. So Keys to the Kingdom tour, would I do it again? Definitely not. If you've ever watched the Imagineering story or Behind the Attractions, you pretty much know what they're gonna tell you. The only cool thing I think was going backstage behind Tiana's Bayou Adventure. So I had not been back there since 2003, 2004 when I marched with Purdue's marching band way back when we were actually good at football for the Capital One Bowl. It was cool. I was able to see a lot of things. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. So would I recommend it? Yeah, I would recommend Keys to the Kingdom tour for anybody who's not really big into Disney but wants to know more about Disney. We had lunch at Columbia Harbor House. You had a choice of, I think it was 6 different items. I chose the lobster roll, and they had a side of fries. The lobster roll was good. I, however, wish it was a different option than the fries because it was a little bit too much for being so hot out. They actually had a sectioned off for us in the upstairs area of Columbia Harbor House. We got to ride Jungle Cruise and the Haunted Mansion. They gave us a little bit of a backstory for those and a little bit of insider knowledge. Again, if you don't have time to take the tour, hit up Disney Plus with Behind the Attractions and the Imagineering story. The utility were cool. I've been there before, and I always equate it to my work basement, but with better signage. It was interesting because there was a lot more active than when I was there last time. We ended the tour over behind Center Street, one of my favorite little hideout spots at the Magic Kingdom. So I'm gonna go rest for a bit, and then I will bring you along to our Steakhouse 71 dinner. So I totally forgot to give you guys a review last night about Steakhouse 71. It was fabulous. I had their house salad, which was super yummy. It had a vinaigrette, dried cherries, tomatoes, cucumbers, sliced radishes, super yummy. And then I also got the 6-ounce sirloin and cream spinach. Everything was cooked perfectly. Oh, and I got the whipped horseradish sauce, which was actually mild. The meat was cooked perfectly, lots of flavor. The cream spinach, it could have used a little salt, but otherwise it was really, really good. We decided to skip dinner and come back here to the hotel to rest because we were all exhausted. And I actually picked up a brownie cookie and some zebra domes for us to have in the room last night. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you had as much fun as I did, and I will see you next time. And it's not goodbye, but see you real soon.